Hari Jaya Rama Rahava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Jaya Girivaradari Jaya Girivaradari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Jaya Girivaradari Jaya Girivaradari Jaya Yashodanandana Jaya Brachachana Ranjana Jaya Brachachana Ranjana Jaya Yashodanandana Jaya Brachachana Ranjana Jaya Brachachana Ranjana Jaya Yamuna Tiravanachari Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Yashomanachari Jaya Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jai Shri Shri Radha Madhava ki Jai, Shri Shri Palad Lakshmi Singhadev Bhagavan ki Jai, Shri Prabhupada ki Jai, Nitai Go Premanandi, Hari Hari Bol. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna, welcome to our Bhagavad Gita class all around. If you don't mind, you can you move a little bit more in the, I mean, you cannot, this doesn't matter so much, but if you didn't, we can better see. You want to give to the, yeah, you can put on the, although we put it later on in the water. Careful, you lost your phone. Yep. Thank you. Okay. Actually, if you give it to this store, there are ladies. They're just making flower garlands. Okay. Brian, can you show? Maybe just to go in the water. Do we speak English? Versteht it English? Okay. I think it's the best when we speak English. Yes, you can. Thank you for the offerings. We will take it later. Okay, we start to read from every evening, actually. In the morning, we read from the Srimad-Bhagavatam. In the evening, from the Srimad-Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita, of course, for anybody connected or born in India is well known, isn't it? Yes. Bhagavad Gita is ancient scripture, basically, based in what? Where's the Bhagavad Gita based in? What is the frame of the Bhagavad Gita? Which scripture? Huh? Yes, Mahabharata. Because Mahabharata basically gives all the details why it came to the Bhagavad Gita, and in the Mahabharata, the Bhagavad Gita is counted like a central point where Lord Krishna gives his teachings. Now, every day we're reading a verse from the Bhagavad Gita, and today we are 425. 425. Okay. As you can see here, we have the Roman transliteration here on the board. For anybody who would like to join, maybe somebody know by heart 424, 25? No, good. Me either. Okay. Daivam eva para yajnam. Eva pare yajnam. Daivam eva pare yajnam. Yogina payupassate. Yogina payupassate. Pramagnav apare yajnam. Pramagnav ape yajnam. Yajne naivo payuvati. Yajne naivo payujavati. Daivam avapare yajnam. Yogina payupassate. Pramagnava pare yajnam. Yajne naivo payujvati. Yajne naivo payujvati. Okay, anybody want to try? Want to try to chant the verse? No? Okay. Then we go for the word-for-word transliteration. Daivam, in worshipping the demigods. Eva, like this. Apare, some others. Yajnam, sacrifices. Yoginaha, mystics. Payupassate, worship perfectly. Prama, of the absolute truth. Agno, in the fire. Apare, others. Yajnam, sacrifice. Yajnena, by sacrifice. Eva, thus. Upayujavati, offer. Translation and the purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Some yogis perfectly worship the demigods by offering different sacrifices to them, and some of them offer sacrifices in the fire of the Supreme Brahman. Okay, the purport to this verse. As described above, a person engaged in discharging duties in Krishna consciousness is also called a perfect yogi or a first-class mystic. But there are others also who perform similar sacrifice in the worship of demigods, and still others who sacrifice to the Supreme Brahman or the impersonal feature of the Supreme Lord. So there are different kinds of sacrifices in terms of different categories. Such different categories or sacrifices by different types of performers only superficially demark varieties of sacrifices. Factually, sacrifice means to satisfy the Supreme Lord, Vishnu, who is also known as Yajna. All the different varieties of sacrifice can be placed within two primary divisions, namely sacrifice of worldly possessions and sacrifice in pursuit of transcendental knowledge. Those who are in Krishna consciousness sacrifice all material possessions for the satisfaction of the Supreme Lord, while others who want some temporary material happiness sacrifice their material possessions to satisfy demigods such as Indra, the sun god, etc. And others who are impersonalists sacrifice their identity by merging into the existence of the impersonal Brahman. The demigods are powerful living entities appointed by the Supreme Lord for the maintenance and supervision of all material functions like the heating, watering, and lighting of the universe. Those who are interested in material benefits worship demigods by various sacrifices according to the Vedic rituals. They are called Bhav Ishvara Vari, or believers in many gods. But others who worship the impersonal feature of the absolute truth and regard the forms of the demigods are temporary, sacrifice their individual selves in the supreme fire, and thus end their individual existence by merging into the existence of the Supreme. Such impersonalists sacrifice their time in philosophical speculation to understand the transcendental nature of the Supreme. In other words, the fruitive workers sacrifice their material possessions for material enjoyment, whereas the impersonalist sacrifices his material designation with a view to merging into the existence of the Supreme. For the impersonalist, the fire altar of sacrifice is the Supreme Brahman, and the offering is the self being consumed by the fire of the Brahman. The Krishna-conscious person, like Arjuna, however, sacrifices everything for the satisfaction of Krishna, and thus all his material possessions, as well as his own self, everything is sacrificed for Krishna. Thus, he is the first-class yogi, but he does not lose his individual existence. Om Agnanati Mandasya Kananan Shana Shalakaya Chakshu Midam Yena Tasmai Sigrave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manopishtam Stabidam Yena Bhutale Svayam Rupakada Mayam Dadati Swaparantikam Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadada Shiva Sari Gaura Bhaktabrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So when the Pandavas came on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, and before the battle started, before this conversation, Yudhishthira did a very important first step. Somebody remember what Yudhishthira, who's Yudhishthira? The oldest brother of the Pandavas, yeah. When he faced the other side and he saw his superiors there, like Dronacharya, Kripacharya, and also superior, the most superior, huh? Bhishma Dev. Yes, Bhishma Dev. So when he all saw the superiors, first of all, he shoot the arrow directly in front of them to the feet to offer his obeisances, in order to ask them for blessings. Although they were on the other side, he recognized them as their superiors, and therefore he basically touched their feet. And he went to each one of them and asked for their blessings. And all of them said, because you have come in such a humble mood, you should be blessed to be victorious. Basically, they announced their own retreat, right? So in the same way, first of all, I ask you for your blessings that I may hopefully not defeated, but to be an instrument of exploring through me, through the Bhagavad Gita for all of us. Because Bhagavad Gita is literature what is transcendental. That means it gives us a connection to the higher realm. We are surrounded, or this material universe where we live, this planet, the whole universe, like our body, they are universes itself. No? Our body is a universe. In us, there are living so many cells, so many independent cells, and they are kind of independent but working together. And together they form a body, what is each one of us. So these cells, they have no independence itself, but they dependent on the whole body. So when the body is healthy, the cells are healthy. But if the cells are getting disturbed, the body can be disturbed, right? So there's a codependency, but the cells cannot be without the body. So the same, we are dependent on the universe. And the universe is a material construction like, for example, a device, a mobile phone or a computer, right? And this computer is made completely out of matter. You know, you have the hardware. But the computer to function needs what? Software. So many of you do IT? Everybody? No. Okay. But so, you know, you're touching IT. Mostly Indians, they do IT, right? Especially when they're in Germany. So you all know the science of this programming language. And there's a reason why mostly Indians are so much into IT, because they know the science from the very birth. Because when you look at Sanskrit, it is like the programming language of the universe. So Sanskrit is not just something that we pass some informations. It contains informations and it contains purpose. Like we have in the West, we have this witchcraft formulas, right? You can say something and then it happens. And Sanskrit has the power to manipulate, or let's say to transform matter, to put matter in motion. So matter, when it comes in, when an atom starts to be in motion, it starts to swing, and then looks for another atom what suits the swinging, and there are two atoms, and then they form a molecule, and then the molecule they form a matter, and in the end we have a table, right? And Sanskrit is something like the programming language of the universe, and this is not just something what we would like to believe. It's something what more and more, especially in India, scientifically is proven, right? There's so many videos on YouTube. You can, whatever, you can get some explanations by that. So, but the Bhagavad Gita itself is like an application implemented by Krishna, because he spoke it, into the akash of the universe, in this information field. Because everybody who approaches this application, this app, downloaded this app on his brain, on his computer, in his hard drive. He, by reading it and studying this knowledge, and this is actually what Krishna says in the end of Bhagavad Gita, everybody who worships me with his intelligence reads this conversation between me and Arjuna. So everybody who start to read Bhagavad Gita and study this conversation, they are kind of getting more and more access into this conversation with Krishna. Meaning, we taking the role of Arjuna and putting Krishna in front to guide our chariot. And in this way, we become like here, Arjuna, he asked all these important questions. So in the same way, we can, through the pages of Bhagavad Gita, we can place our questions and we get answers. And everybody can make this experience by exploring Bhagavad Gita. Now the verse here, 20:25, again says, some yogis perfectly worship the demigods by offering different sacrifices to them. So who are these demigods? You know, sometimes when Western philosophers or religious people, they look at what they call Hinduism. By the way, we not Hindus. We ISKCON people, we Hare Krishna people, we are no Hindus. Are you Hindus? No. That's only the term the British gave to you. There is no, show me somewhere in Bhagavad Gita where Krishna speaks about Hindus. That's only the British called you because the Persian people called you because you live on the other side of the Indus River. So it's like when we would say, everybody who follows Mr. Trump, they do Americanism. Their religion is Americanism or Trumpism or something like that. Americanism. This is just a geographical standpoint, right? So basically, what we all known as is Sanatana Dharma, right? And this contains different varieties of systems to approach the Vedas. Now, Vedas, they're all composed in Sanskrit, in this very intelligent language. And the Vedas, when you come back to computer science, or the Vedas, they're like a guideline or an operation book for a computer. You know, when you get your computer or something, you get the operating manual everywhere. Nobody reads it. Everybody tries anyway. But that's actually, it's not so clever because this manual tells you which button you press to get this and that result. So the Vedas, especially the texts known as Karma Kanda, they are they're giving you these instructions. You want to be wealthy, you worship, for example, Indra. You can make some pujas to Indra. You want to be healthy, you worship every morning the sun god. Different, so many different things. But now here, Krishna tells Arjuna that when you worship the demigods, you get temporary results. Because when you look at the universe as a company, in a company you have the CEO, right? And the CEO, everything is under his energy, everything is under his supervision. But there, for each and every department, he places it at department head. These are the demigods. And in Vedic science, you have everywhere, you have a personality behind it. There's always somebody who is responsible. There's never something where you can say, nobody is responsible. Right? Everything what happens, Jai, Shishi Palat Lakshmi Shingadev Bhagavan Ki Jai, you can approach somebody and can say, hey, you have for air, you have, who is responsible for air? Vayu, yes. Water? Varuna, yeah. Fire? Agni, yeah. And these are the supreme, the sun, Suryadev, yeah. So many things, each and every department, right? And when you work in a company and you want to have some more money, and you go to your department head and tell him, I need more money, right? What he gonna say? Huh? He will say, let's see, I have to ask the CEO. right? So in the same way, the demigods, they're not independent. They are dependent just like us. But we are not, they have power. They have more power than we, but they are not completely independent. Like Hiranyakashipu wanted from Brahma that he becomes immortal. Now what Brahma said, could he make him immortal? No. Why not? What was his argument?
He told him that nobody can, so the man, whoever will kill you will not be a man. Like there were different situations.
Yes, this came later. But first said Brahma, I can't give you this benediction because I'm not immortal. Because when the universe is finished, I will be finished. So I'm in the same position as you, although I'm in the hierarchy a little bit higher, right? And then Hiranyakashipu, because he was smart in that sense, he made this different policies, right? We do also health policy, that policy, cow policy, right? We try to make ourselves immortal with policies. Anyway, this proves just this point that the demigods themselves, they are dependent, right? And therefore it's wrong if people say, well, Hindus, again, they're worshipping many gods. No, we're just approaching them when, in different, for different needs. But actually, the whole Hinduism points to one God in the end. And that is Vishnu. Yeah. So some would even say Mahesh, but in the end, Vishnu is still supreme, because when they come in, Vishnu is there in the beginning, before the beginning, and after the end. And everything comes out of him. Because Brahma, when this thing happened with, we hear in the temple of Nrsingadev, when this thing happened with that Nrsingadev avatar appeared, the whole demigods, they were, what is this? What's happening here? Right? And then they could not understand, and they asked Brahma again, said, Brahma, what is it? Everything comes from you. You the creator. You the creative head, right? You the creator. You created everything. So what is it? What did you create here? Half man, half lion. Is this a monster? Brahma said, I have no idea. And if it's not coming from me, it must be outside of me. So who's the one who's outside of Brahma? Only Vishnu. So therefore said, it must be Vishnu, right? And then Vishnu, they thought, okay, if it's Vishnu, when the husband is angry, now my wife comes in, what a coincidence. When I'm angry, whom you better approach? When I'm angry, what you would do to pacify me?
Go to your wife.
Ah, very good. Says the wife, she knows. You go to the wife, and so they went to Lakshmi Devi and asked her, what's going on? You know what's going on? And she said, I have no idea. I never saw him that angry. Right? And then in the end, they thought, okay, she cannot solve it. Brahma has no idea. Oh, actually, it was this little boy. Where's the girl? Sorry. Where's the boy? No boys. That's this little boy, right, who's responsible for this. Prahlad. Now you go and fix it. And Prahlad was very smart, because he understood that's just my little flute player. Because when Prahlad is pushed from the cliff, on the way down when he's flying, he chants one important mantra, in this life-threatening situation, when he's basically thinking, okay, that's it. So let me chant my last mantra. And he chants, Namo Brahmya Devaya Go Brahmna Hitaya Chachakaditaya Krishnaya Govindaya Namo Namaha. So he refers to Govinda, the Lord of the cows, what means Krishna and Vrindavan, right? So that's just some side story, because we're here in the Nrsinga temple. But that shows us that when We want to have some temporary results, like we want to have a healthy body. What is, of course, very, very good, very helpful. If your body is healthy, everything is fine. When you're young, it's not such a big deal because you have a young body. Everything is working very nicely, right? When you come, you jump out of the bed like, yeah, here I am. When I go out of the bed, it's more a little bit like, oh, like, oh. You drag yourself out, okay, right? So, and then you think, okay, it would be better if in my early days, I would have taken care a little bit more of my health, of my body. But anyway, old age comes anyway. But there are certain things what you can do, like worshipping different demigods to preserve health, right? But that's all temporary, because in the end, this body will die anyway. No? If you can, till the last, you can stretch your body very nicely. When your time is over, then it's over. Nobody comes here out alive. So that's only temporary results. And therefore, Krishna says, the worshippers of the demigod, who offer oblations to them, they gain a result, but this result is temporary. It doesn't bring you forward. Now, who is you? Who are you? Who are you? Yeah, Prabhuji looks at his hands, yeah. Are you these hands?
We are the creators of the God.
Excuse me?
We are the creators of the God. Creators, human beings.
You human being, yeah, but yeah, I mean, this is still, if somebody asks you, what kind of car do you have? BMW? Okay, good. If somebody asks you, who are you? And you say, I'm a BMW. Everybody think something is wrong with Prabhuji, right? Or I have a German car, I have an Indian car, I have a Tata, you have a Tata car, or I have an American car, whatever. It's just the vehicle you move through traffic. And the same way, this body, what we use, is just the vehicle we move through life from one point to another point. So we are not these bodies. We are the soul, exactly. And this is a shift in consciousness, because many people even say, oh, my soul doesn't feel so good. It's not my soul, I am the soul. Because otherwise, to whom belongs this soul? Say, my hand, my leg. But who is this one who owns the leg, who owns the hand? We don't know, because it's the soul. And we don't know what the soul wants. We don't know what we need, what we want. In one point, we're very aware what our body needs. Now we need sleep. Now we need something to eat. Now we need some exercise, whatever. We're so aware of that, but we're not aware of our need, what we actually need. And the need of the soul needs to reconnect with its source, and that's the supreme. And that's addressed here. This is what basically Krishna says to Arjuna, just reconnect with me. I created you in a certain way. So if you worship me, then you will attain an eternal result. It says, one thing you offer to Krishna, he never forget. Any material bank account, you put something on it, and somebody will take it away again, right? You put your salary, it goes on your bank account, you say, very nice. And then your landlord comes and takes half of it away or something like that, right? It's all temporary. But when you do something for Krishna, it never diminishes. It always will add up, till we finally come so close that we really when we want to have more money, or that's material, if we want something from the CEO, we don't have to go through the administrators like demigods. We can directly approach the CEO because we are very close to him. We know him very well. And this is basically our process of bhakti yoga, what we follow. in our movement by the teachings of Srila Prabhupada. He said, just become a friend of Krishna. How you become a friend of Krishna? If you wanna go to a party for the CEO, sometimes the CEO gives a party in your company. What do you have to do to get entrance to this party? Huh? Yes, how you get an invitation?
When we know them.
Huh?
When we know each other, they give.
No, but that's a little bit difficult when the first time you want to come in. But what else you could do? Huh?
Work hard.
Work hard, yeah. Everybody works hard, but still they don't be invited for the party of the CEO. But what else you can do?
Maybe something we can offer to the benefit of CEO.
To the what?
Benefit of CEO.
The benefit of CEO, huh? Stuff. Yeah, but even then, you know, if you okay, let's put. I bring another example. I brought many times for those who knows already, but I think it's appropriate.
Get closer to the demigod.
Huh?
Get closer to the demigod.
Okay, yeah, that's very good point. You get to somebody who knows, who is in the circle, right? You make friends with somebody who is in it, and he can get you a word in. You know, he can organize the invitation for you by going to CEO and say, I have a good friend here. What do you think? You know, he's a very good worker. You know, it's very good. Maybe we can invite him. And because the CEO, he knows that person, and you think, well, if you tell me, then okay, let him come, right? So therefore, we have to approach the people or dead souls who are very close, and we can approach. You know, it's like Prabhupada often make this comparison that if you want to know somebody, pet his dog. You know, when you want to get to know somebody, then you know, and he goes with his only people with a dog, and then he says, oh, that's a beautiful dog, and immediately you are the best person, you know, because he said my dog is beautiful, right? So therefore, for us, that's very important that we go through some line of authorities where we approach the Supreme through somebody who knows the Supreme. And therefore, each one of us is basically following teachings, and this, for us in our line, of course, is the teachings of A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, because he basically managed it to bring all the scriptures, don't make them Hindu scriptures anymore. Now they are, because he translated them in English and gave understanding by which people from the West, well, people like me, like completely unqualified, but have an access point to understand these Vedic teachings. And therefore, for us, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada is so important because he is the link who can link us in. So, yeah, that's basically our main concern. First of all, for ourselves to get closer to the circle, to the party. And when we are in, or when we come closer, try to get as much people in the party than possible. Because what is the best party? When many people are there, right? So, and you know, this is basically what we're doing is we're having a party the whole day. Starting early in the morning at 4:30, we have the first dance sessions where everybody dances. It's still dark outside. And the people, in the weekends, the people, they just come from the party. They are kind of coming home like this, but we're starting like, wow, like this. And it goes through the day. And it's mostly dancing and singing and feasting, eating prasadam. And in between, why we do this? Therefore, we read the scriptures. So Prabhupada gave this invitation to all of us, to every soul. Doesn't matter in which kind of body we travel at this moment. I don't know why I have so much attraction for Indian philosophy. I guess in one of my previous lives I had I had the skin color of my lady. Therefore, I'm attracted to an Indian lady. I think I have some links there for sure. But now I'm in a white body because of my karma or whatever, right? At the same time, why you have so attraction to come to the West. We don't know. And it's also not... yes?
I have a question when you mentioned karma. How karma and soul are related? Because it depends on the karma, your soul has the benefits in the current birth and how it's going to reach Krishna.
Yeah, first of all, the soul creates this karma. So karma means something you're responsible for it. Each and every action, what we... knowingly or unknowingly, but we cannot say unknowingly. You can't go in the traffic driving a car, make an accident and say, well, I didn't know. Because how you cannot know? Did you not go to driving school? Didn't learn the scriptures of the German, the Deutsche Verkehrsordnung, Straßenverkehrsordnung, right? That's not an excuse. Therefore, Krishna or the Lord God, however you call him, Allah, Buddha, whatever, they gave us scriptures that we are able to make decisions based on our intelligence and based on our understanding. So it's our responsibility as a human being to study that scriptures. Because if you, soul, end up in a dog's body, in a lion body, or whatever, goat, whatever, you can't read. You can't understand this, so you have no entrance. You have no point to the scriptures. But therefore, it said animals or lower species who don't have this ability to study, they don't create new karma. They just suffer karma. But in this point, you enter a human body. You get some basic features where you can study, you can learn the scriptures, and this makes you responsible. Now, if you don't use your responsibility, that's your problem. It's like getting in a car without driver license. Nobody will say, oh, okay, she didn't know. Right? So, with your karma, with your actions, you create your new destination. Right? It's like you put everything on your bank account. It's like a bank account. Karma is like a bank account. You put everything on your bank account. You have a huge stack. You can buy a BMW or Mercy, whatever, a Rolls Royce or whatever, wonderful, wonderful car. If you don't have so much in your bank account, you maybe only get a bicycle, right? Still, it's a vehicle where it can move from A to B. It doesn't say anything about the quality of the vehicle. You can do basically almost the same thing with a bicycle, like with a Rolls Royce or whatever. It's a vehicle, right? And it doesn't say anything of the quality of that person who rides on the bicycle or on the BMW. There can be a bad person on the bicycle and in the BMW, as same as good persons, right? Depends how you use this, how you use your vehicle. You use your vehicle to, I don't know, go to drinking clubs or, I don't know, something, then what's the point? You're just wasting that wonderful opportunity having a car. But if you come maybe from Munich, come to Simhachalam, visiting in the temple in the Lord, then this car is very nicely done in the eyes of the Lord, right? So, what is your capacity with your body? What you do with your body? How you create a better karma? And this is scriptures say, plant a tree, dig a well, feed the poor. That's all good. You create good karma. But Krishna says, if you just use this life, use this body to serve me, it's like you putting the water on the root of a tree. Because I will take care of everything. I will take care. If humanity worship the Lord, it's like pouring the water on a tree. If we walk around with a spray bottle and spray every leaf of the tree, it's maybe very good, or it looks good, but the tree is not nourished, and only that particular leaf is nourished. So same way, if you feed one beggar on the street, it's very nice. But if humanity would take the principles of the God-given principles in consideration, then God automatically would provide everything. That's a little bit off the topic now of your question, but it was related. So did it answer already your question, or was there something else?
Yeah, yeah. Maybe I think when people suffer in this birth, maybe it could be because of the bad karma. Is it any way that we can correct it by doing better things in this, realizing it and try to change it?
See, to change your karma doesn't bring you somewhere. I mean, it's not the main goal. It's not to change your karma. It's not that you get unhealthy. It's not that you have a bad karma. Well, in one sense, you could say it's bad karma. On the other hand, when we suffer, we tend even more to turn to the Lord. When we don't suffer, we tend to forget the Lord. Right? So sometimes it's like, you have in your astrology, in your chart, you have Saturn, Shani. Oh. You Indians, everybody afraid of Shani? Oh my God. But huh?
Be afraid of everything.
No, but that's the point. Shani, Saturn, is not a bad person. He puts you into difficulties. Why? Because he wants to grind you that finally you turn to higher existence. You get out of your day to day, whatever you do, whatever you like, whatever he points you toward to, hey, see, there's something more, there's something higher, go for it. No, I don't want. Okay, then I have to do something. Karma is not necessarily a bad thing. Sometimes it turns us toward higher destinations, because then finally we start to pray, what actually is this life all about? Many times people, they get some disease and then they start to asking about, what is my life worth, what I did at this point. And then they have the disease, and from this point they start really, they're living their life, they're taking it serious, they're asking questions. So to just fix the karma is just, again, a temporary result. If you get out of the disease and then somebody has some lung problems because of smoking, and then the doctor says, stop smoking, you stop smoking, and then you're getting better, and then say, oh, I'm better, so I can start smoking again. What's the point? Right? You have to change your life. And this is basically what we try to do as each and every individual, and they're living as a community to kind of work on each one of us. And that's human dharma. That's our, Arjuna had his own conceptions, how he would get out of this situation. Said, I give everything up, I go to the forest. Krishna says, no, I created you a fighter. And sometimes Western people say, oh, it's all about war. No, it's not. If Arjuna would be a baker man, then Krishna would tell him, get up and make bread. Right? Because I designed you like that. So just because Arjuna was a warrior, then Krishna said, that's a war, we have to do this, because those people, they give trouble to the whole universe. So come on, do something. I created you like this. You're my instruments. And if you want or not, if you partake in this battle or not, they anyway dead already. So you just can be an instrument. So in the same way, we are just instruments, but it depends on how we tuned in. If we are a precise instrument, or if we kind of a not so precise instrument. And that's therefore human form of life should be taken serious, and therefore Prabhupada always gave special emphasis on the Indian people, because they know it already, and they can give so much input to the world by their ancient teachings, in the same way as you give input by all your knowledge about IT. But what many people, what many Indians, when they come to the West, what they do first of all? Changing diet, or?
Adapting the culture.
First, veg or non-veg? Non-veg is okay. We on the West, right? And then, everybody's drinking. You go to some business meetings, they're drinking beer. Let's try me as well. And then you become Western. You become corrupted by our lifestyle. Coca-Cola comes to India. In India, it's, you eat from a paper leaf, from a tree leaf. You finished eating, you fold it, you throw it away. The cows come, dogs come, eat from it. Basically, it will dissolve into nothing. It will become earth again. It worked for millions of years. Now Coca-Cola comes and gives you plastic bottle. What happens? India is full of plastic garbage. Because the mentality is still there. Let's throw it, in the corner and it will dissolve. No, it doesn't. But that's our influence. We bring you our big supermarkets. Nice shopping. No, everybody else, it worked for millions of years that, this culture was flourishing. Everybody had this space. In India, you have a bicycle, you have a business. Right? You can transport something with a bicycle. You can earn some money. Now you have, you can transport people. You can become a rickshaw waller. Now, what they do, electro rickshaw. Nobody can afford it. We give you credit. Now you work for us. It's insane. Now, we approaching the Gaurati, and we stop now here. I thank you very much for your kind attention. Please, if I said something upsetting you, please, it's my impurity in try to presenting the scriptures. I hope you have a wonderful time here in Simachalam with Shishi Prahlad Lakshmi Singadev, and after the arti we will offering a fire sacrifice, but all oblations will be offered to the Singadev Vishnu. So you're all welcome, and if you're there and there will be some chanting of the holy name, use this opportunity, chant and put your heart inside. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Ananda Kodi Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai, Nitai Go Premanandi, Hari Hari Bol.